Historical battles have been a part of the Total War series since its inception, and still continue to make an appearance in every game and almost every DLC. The historical battles are that third mode, which either flops or becomes legendary. Before I start this video, I think we should look into the community's opinion. Do you play historical battles? Let's take a look at this Discord poll. Some people play them, some people never play any of them. But most are in one category. Most only play the interesting ones. After reading through the community's comments as well, and holding two polls, expecting this to be an extremely difficult video to make, it turned out to have a very simple answer. There's only two reasons why people play historical battles. One, for the historical, and two, for the battles. Let me explain. Most comments were saying they enjoy playing them because they like the historical feel, the feeling of actually being there to relive moments in history, or at times alter those moments. Many people liked the accurate armies and scripted movements, allowing them to either copy their favourite generals or challenge them. But there were also people who liked it for its uniqueness on the battlefield, as in playing a scenario against the AI that would be impossible to create in a custom battle map, or impossible to witness in campaign. I held a poll asking people for their favourite Rome Total War historical battles. Here are the responses. Leading this list is Teutoburg Forest, then the Siege of Sparta, and then Carrhae. And these perfectly sum up exactly what I am saying. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest historically came about due to the Romans trying to expand their empire and influence further into the Germanic regions. Two legions under the command of Varus were betrayed and slaughtered by the barbarians. This was such a significant event that the legions' names, Legio 17 and 19, were never used again. And that is why the historical fans play it. Now, Teutoburg Forest is one of those more unique battles out here, as it plays less like a Total War battle and oddly more like an Age of Empires campaign mission, as you have to move through and scout ahead to find your way through and out of the forest. Overall, a very interesting one, and that is where the second category comes into it, the battle group, to experience a form of Total War that would be impossible to create in custom battles or to witness in campaign. Next, we have the Siege of Sparta, where Pyrrhus of Epirus attempts to take advantage of a Spartan army not being present. Overall though, the Spartans, using their same strategy at Thermopylae, they get another win. Again, a very well known and loved battle by historical fans, but what completes it is its gameplay. The map itself is unique, but the battle is even more special. Pyrrhus has the interesting roster of the Seleucid Empire, bringing with him catapults and elephants, along with the rest of his phalanx army. Meanwhile, the defence is programmed to hold the narrow streets for as long as possible. This is something that is also not possible to do in a custom battle, as the AI will be all over the place. Third on this list is the Battle of Carrhae, where the Romans hold out against the Parthians. Very famous battle, very popular amongst the history fans, and so that's why it did get some votes. But it is half the votes of the others, despite it being just as significant. Why is that? Well, my theory is that it's in the battles section where it lacks, the people that look for those, because although the battle is certainly unique on a unique map, I don't feel it is unique enough, and this one is quite easy to actually recreate in custom battles and have the AI do the same strategy against you, and you'll probably even see this in campaign as well. And that is why I believe this one has fewer upvotes. Yes, it has a lot of votes and is popular with history lovers, but at the end of the day, history is not everything. Gameplay is just as important, and that's why it is only half of the Teutoburg Forest or the Siege of Sparta with its votes, because the battle can be done in customs as well. The history is why they play, the unique style is why they stay. Let's compare it to the others. Telamon got no votes at all. I've never heard of that battle. On top of that, the battle can easily be recreated in customs. Raphia, Asculum, other battles I have not heard of, all got very few votes. Georgia is an interesting battle setup along with Lake Trezimai, but they are just not as well known as the others. Overall, my favourite still stands here, but does it work for Medieval 2's historical battles? In first place here, we have the perfect example, Agincourt. Not only is it the most well-known battle from the list, it is also a perfect example of reliving history on a battle map that is unique and fun to play, given the scripted approach by the AI. A similar battle is Hastings, which also got a lot of votes, although I agree it deserves less votes, as this is much easier to make in custom battles. By the way, both of these battles here, Hastings uses the Saxons faction, and Agincourt uses a dismounted general's bodyguard unit, so that's two more unique things in those battles, which are interesting. Unique units are also good to add into them if possible. The most unique battle here is the Siege of Sentinel, due to the settlement layout design. However, I believe it fails simply because it is not as well known. Even if you search it online, the first links that pop up are not for the historical battle itself, but for Total War's version of it. Overall, both games say the same thing. The history is why they play, the unique style is why they stay. And I think the devs could really learn from this. Their current plan seems to be have one or two good ones, then add several more as filler. We see these in the newer titles as well. Whereas, if this third mode is to succeed, there cannot be any filler. By having every battle focus on an extremely famous battle, preferably one popularised by modern media, and one that has a unique style or layout to it, then I believe the mode will really start to see some serious engagement. Currently, as shown by achievements, only 2.6% of all of Attila's fanbase actually fought and won 6 historical battles. And with Napoleon, I think only like 20% even loaded one up. I think evidence of this is quite clear in the most covered battles on all of YouTube. The historical Total War battle that has the most coverage and the most views is Thermopylae. And that's not even in Total War. You know, Thermopylae is the one with 300 Spartans. This is the perfect example. It brings the historical part, as many people are aware of this battle, especially due to modern media, the film 300 and the amount of YouTube coverage it has received. Really helps to educate the audience of the existence and importance of this battle. Also, it is a very unique battle that cannot really be done properly in custom battles without the help of mods. The Spartans at the end of the bridge is the closest most could get. This is by far the perfect example of something that is historically popular and has a unique style that makes it fun to play, and the proof is there. It is the most covered battle by YouTubers, getting usually the most views. These are the types of battles we need to see. Not Otumba, not Telamon, not Sozions, and even not your Karais. Not battles that can be recreated easily in customs. Historically popular events that are also unique and can take advantage of interesting scripts is the way forward. Now, before I end the video, I want to quickly talk about progression campaigns, such as those used in Alexander and Napoleon Total War, where you have to complete the one before it to move on. This idea I think does also work, and this way the devs can get away with having a few filler battles, as people will play them not for enjoyment, but to unlock the battle they are after, whether that be Gargamella or Austerlitz, for example. Another advantage is the player does not feel bombarded by options, rather the route is presented to them and they have a simple linear order to follow. So overall I do believe that it is also a good system and I will be happy to see it return in future. However, the point about the battle still stands. Even if a player is just playing them to unlock the next one, the player still should be enjoying themselves, and having well-known and unique battles is also just as important. With this route though, 1 or 2 fillers I think are okay. And that is everything. I hope you enjoyed or perhaps learnt something. This is just my opinion, of course, but I believe this to be true. And it is also taking a lot of your opinions into consideration as well, trying to summarise them and bring them together in some form of a conclusion. Thank you for all the votes and commenters for helping me put this together. It did take a while to put together and go this deep into what makes them good or bad, given the topic has never been covered before. If you want to see more deeper videos like this, please subscribe or share with anyone you think may be interested. Until the next one, goodbye.